Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Jason from Straight Edge Knives. Hey, got a little bit of a discussion video for you today, not necessarily a review. All of these blades, I take that back. Almost all of these blades have had a full review on my channel. One of them has not. I feel really bad about it. I need to do it. I'm going to do it, and we'll talk about that. It's not that big of a deal, but I don't know why. It's a knife I use the shit out of, and I haven't done a review on it. I don't understand why. But anyway, a lot of times people talk about a one knife option, a one knife do it all survival tool. And a lot of people have tried, a lot of people have maybe somewhat succeeded, and a lot of people have failed. I don't necessarily know if there is ever going to be truly a one knife can do it all no matter what survival tool. There's a lot that come close probably. But a lot of people in the world believe that, it's a multi-tool system when it comes to knives, because you have your small tasks that you have to do, you have your medium to large tasks that you have to do, then you have your kind of extra large tasks that you need to do, and it's hard to find that happy medium that's going to cover all of those bases, right? Because you could have a giant blade, but if you got to fillet a tiny fish out to survive, you're going to have a little bit of a difficult time doing that, so you might need something a little bit smaller, right? I'm no expert in any of this. This is just my opinions, guys and gals who are watching. And, please sound off in the comments below if you have a different opinion or if you have anything to add to this conversation, if you will. I don't mind. I'm all about constructive criticism. I'm not above not learning something. But what I have here for you today are two literally different sets of knives, as if you will, right? We have the Survival University put out 3 different blades that kind of act as a set together. You have your smaller blade, your medium-sized blade, and your extra large blade. And Houghton Era Outdoors, Nate and Aaron Morgan over there, they've actually designed a few knives. I don't necessarily think I take that back. Let me rewind that. Even though these didn't come out together, I think their intended design purposes was for these to be a set of knives as well that you could take out. You have your small, medium, and extra kind of large blade to handle all those different tasks. And both of these sets are great. I think you really can't go wrong with either one. It's just kind of more of a style preference. Like I said, I've tested all these blades out, and I think they're all pretty damn awesome. And let's kind of get into them, okay? And you're going to kind of see, like, there's some definitely different methodologies that are being applied between the Survival University and Houghton Era Outdoors, right? I always have to Houghton, I was saying it wrong for so long. And anyway, there, see Nate and Aaron Morgan, they'll tell you I can't say their damn name. Anyway, so with the Survival University, let's start off with their smaller blade. This is the Spirit, okay? So this is definitely like a smaller style blade. You're looking at, it's about a 4.5 inch. I don't have the specs exactly in front of me, but this is a little bit bigger of a blade compared to the Houghton Era's blade. But this is kind of a smaller task, kind of do-it-all style knife, right? It's got a nice big full-size grip. Can you get in there and do some smaller tasks with it? Absolutely. Now, with the Houghton Era design, this is the Kermit. This is definitely their smaller, whittling kind of camps, do-it-like small task knife. And it is definitely a smaller knife, for sure, as you can see here. Two totally, completely different ideas behind these knives, but both will serve a damn good purpose. Like if you have to get in there and make a tri-stick, do some whittling, make some traps, the Spirit here is going to be really good for that. But so is the Kermit. I mean, this is a little guy. You can get a full-size grip. You can come in here and do some real fine work. You can choke up on it, come in here, do some real fine caping, skinning, different things like that. You got small fish that you're catching. You got this tiny little guy. You can kind of come in here and do some real fine filleting, if you will. But the tip is so fine on this guy, you can do it as well. So it's kind of interesting to look at these two knives and think they're both, even though they're so different, they kind of serve the same purpose. Now, they're definitely, the Spirit's going to be able to do some light batoning that the Kermit's not going to be able to do, obviously, because of the size. So they're not necessarily equal, but they both can do a lot of the same similar tasks. So it's kind of interesting depending on what you think you're going to be doing for small tasks out in the woods and forest and things like that. Might dictate which one of these smaller blades you choose. You might be looking to save, if you're going to carry all three, you might be looking to save a little weight, in which case, the Kermit might be the little bit better option than the Spirit. But when you get into the medium-sized blades, they're going to definitely be kind of the same weight as well as the XL blades. So it's kind of hit and miss. So again, a lot of this is more user preference than it is anything else. I think these are both great smaller blades, even though this doesn't look like a small blade. This is considered a small blade in the Survival University set, and where, they're definitely different. But you also have differences in stills. This is 1095 high carbon still. These were made, Jason Breeden helped design these with the Survival, Jason and Ruben over at the Survival University, and Condor Tool and Knife made these for them, and it's 1095 high carbon still, where the Houghton Era boys went with 154 cm stainless with this little guy, and they're making these in-house. They're doing all the grinding, putting the edges on themselves. I do believe they have these heat treated by somebody else, but other than that, they're doing the handles and everything themselves. So that might be something to consider in your set. Do you want something that's a high carbon steel, or do you just want something that's a little bit more stainless? So it's just something to consider. Definitely different carry options available. You also have a leather sheath with the Kermit, although Nate and Aaron Morgan do make Kydex with these. And you definitely have this multi-faceted Kydex sheath with the Spirit. And so that's something to consider, your sheath options there. So let's jump into the bigger blades here. So when you jump in, not the bigger blades, the medium-sized blades, if you will, or the large blades, you have the Courage from the Survival University. And again, this one's 1095 high carbon steel, a little bit thicker of a blade than the Spirit. Still got the same handle, the grip. The cool thing about these knives is the handle is almost identical between all of the blades from the Survival University. So what's really cool is if you grab the Spirit, you grab the Courage here, you're going to know exactly how that handle is going to feel, how it's going to react in your hand. And that's a lot of people like that. That's a cool thing. With the Brush Wolf is a little bit more of a kind of multifaceted blade as well. Definitely a different style. It's more of a Nesmuk style blade, modernized a little bit. Both of these knives, if you stack them up side by side, they're almost the same. They're pretty much literally the same height. You're kind of looking at them, they're pretty much the same thickness. You're just getting some totally different blade styles. You're getting almost the same handle length if you stack these up next to each other. Let me see if we can do this without knocking my table over. But you look at them, they're pretty damn close, right? But you got different styles of blades. Both of these, the Survival University Courage has a 90-degree spine for throwing sparks. You got a small section here on the back of the Brush Wolf for throwing sparks on a fire rod. You do have these little saw teeth, which are for making notches. They're not for sawing through branches, so they're for making like notches and things like that for traps. Both of these you could choke back on to get, whip chopping going for like heavier chopping tasks. You get a little bit more of an acute point with the Courage from Survival University than you do the Brush Wolf. But both of these are thick enough that you can baton with. I batoned with both of them. You can chop with both of them. You can definitely choke up, get in here real tight with a Brush Wolf. You can choke up here, get in nice and tight with the, I think at the end of the day, between these two, it's really going to be, I think, ergonomics, what feels better for you as the end user. The handle's a little bit thinner, smaller with the Brush Wolf than with the Courage, but they both feel fantastic. And whenever I've used these blades, testing them out and stuff, I don't get hot spots with them. I think they're both fantastic. The Brush Wolf is one that I do not have a full review video on yet. I'm dumb. I don't know why. But as you could see, I've used this thing quite a bit. It's not something that sits in my safe. I do really like this blade a lot. And I really like this Courage a lot. So it's kind of like, I'm always kind of torn. Like if I was to, which one are you going to grab? It's a difficult choice. These are both made out of 1095 high carbon steel. Again, the Courage is made by Condor Tool and Knife. The brush wolf was actually made by Tops Knives for the Houghton Era Outdoor boys. So you're getting 1095 from Tops and 1095 from Condor. So both, again, similar styles still. You got a Kydex sheath with different multiple attachment points. You got fire rod holders built into the sheath. So you got a multifaceted carry system. The brush wolf from Tops originally comes with a leather sheath, but the Houghton Era boys do make a fantastic Kydex sheath, which has a fire rod holder on here. It's got a dangler, clips in there. Everything fits in nice and tight. So you do have the option of upgrading from a leather sheath to, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with the Tops leather sheath. It's fantastic. But if you want Kydex, you know, you can order a Kydex sheath from the Houghton Era boys, and they will hook you up. So there on the medium-sized blades, you know, you got some similarities. Now again, we're going to jump into some big differences now between, I believe, what I would call their extra large blades. So let's pop open this bad boy. So this is the Solidago from Houghton Era, right? This is a parang style machete. You can actually get two hands on this. So choke back a little bit on the handle. You can come in here and get two hands for two-handed chopping. You got some jimping along the top here, so you can grab it up top and do some, you know, draw cuts. You do have a nice 90-degree section here for throwing sparks. You can choke back, get a lot of good whip chopping going. Choke up, get some heavy chopping going. Really awesome, right? This is the big difference here. So with the Gallantry, you got yourself a basically short sword here, guys. This thing is, I mean, I can't even stand them up. I mean, there's a huge size difference here, as you could tell. Two completely different style blades. This is a Gununting style blade from the like a Filipino martial arts. If I believe I'm correct on that. I hope I am. This thing, it's pretty fast, pretty quick, pretty light, but so is this. So I think, again, it's going to be coming down to what are you using this blade for out in the wild. I mean, both of these are going to be good for chopping heavy brush, but if you need a little extra reach for chopping stuff a little higher, you know, this Gununting is definitely going to be the way to go. If you practice martial arts, weapons martial arts or something like that, the Gununting is basically based off of a tool that is used in martial arts. So this might be the way to go. If you're looking for something that's a little less of an acute point and a little bit more smaller brush chopping, take a look at the Solidago. Both of these chop fantastic. They're both great blades. Here's one other one of the differences is with the Gallantry, it's 1075 high carbon still, and the Solidago is still 1095. And the Solidago is being made by Tops Knives for Houghton Era Outdoors. These are sold exclusively through Houghton Era Outdoors. The Brush Wolf, you can get through them or Tops, and then the Kermits are sold exclusively through Houghton Era Outdoors. I know I keep emphasizing the hoot. I like doing that. It's fun. Whereas the Survival University set is all exclusively sold through the Survival University. And I will have links to those pages down below in the description. So let's jump back into this again. Obviously, you can tell there's a huge difference in concept behind the designs on these. So again, I think it would just really come down to user preference. If you got to go traipsing through the brush and you need something a little bit shorter, I almost want to say a little bit lighter, you know, the Solidago might be your choice. If you need something a little bit longer, a little bit more reach, you know, you might want to reach for the, you know, the Gallantry. Again, it just kind of comes down to end user preference. What are you cutting? What are you going to be using it for? And ultimately, at the end of the day, I think either one of these sets is fantastic, but it's going to come down to you and what you need it for. I know I've repeated that quite a bit, but it's kind of holds true. One thing you do get with the gallantry here is you get a Kydex sheath with multiple attachment points, fire rod holders. You can belt loop carry the strap to pack. It's the same style of sheath that comes with all the blades, so everything's pretty across the board here with this with the Survival University stuff. Whereas the Solidagos come in with a handmade leather sheath from the Houghton Era boys. Belt loop here. It's got an open back design. You got a retention strap here. It comes around. Fantastic sheath. Holds the blade in great. No problems, no issues. But it's just, you know, some people prefer Kydex. And trust me, I believe they do have a Kydex option available. You could purchase from them. But as far as I know, these are coming standard from them with leather sheaths. And it's a very well-made leather sheath. So those are kind of your two different 3-blade options that are sold, not necessarily. You can buy the Survival University as a whole set, or you can buy them individually, where these are all just sold kind of individually, or you can just order all 3 at the same time and say it's a set, right? Apples, oranges, if you will. Both are fantastic. I think you really couldn't go wrong with either set. I think just, again, at the end of the day, it's going to come down to the little differences between like the smaller blades, maybe even the extra large blades and stuff like that as to what your end goal is with the blades. So hopefully that kind of gave you guys, I don't know, just something to think about. I'm not, you know, necessarily saying this is the end-all be-all sets by any means. You could always piece together any type of set that you want. That's the beautiful thing with knives. They're multifaceted, multi-use, right? So you could go out and buy this brand, and this brand, put them all together, and there's your set. Good job. You know, share it with us. I'd like to know what you put together. You know what I mean? I'm not saying you have to buy these. I'm just saying these are some options that are out there. I think they're good options, and I've, like I said, used the heck out of these blades, and I really enjoy them, and I don't think you could go wrong with picking any of these blades. But heck, man, you may really like this and really want the Brush Wolf and then want the Spirit. You can put them together that way, or you may really want the Kermit for its size, the Courage and the Brush Wolf. Maybe you want 2 set blades that are the same system. Mix and match, man. Do whatever you want. It's your life. So I'm going to keep rambling on here, but I just kind of wanted to show kind of some 3-bladed set options that are kind of floating around out there, and just give you something to think about, and then give me something to think about. Tell me what you think in the comments and description below. And if you get a chance, man, shoot over to my Instagram and give me a like and follow over there. I'm trying to grow my Instagram as well, so I put a lot of content up over there as well, and I greatly appreciate you watching. Thanks for sticking with me through this kind of little discussion, and stay safe, stay sharp, and we'll see you next time.